Level 1. The trainee. You're 21. You couldn't afford college. You worked retail for 2 years and hated every second. A friend tells you a security company is hiring, $15 an hour. Uniform provided. You show up to a training facility in a strip mall, fluorescent lights, folding chairs, 20 other guys who look exactly like you. The instructor is a retired cop. He talks for 40 hours over 2 weeks, legal authority of a security guard. You have none. You're not a cop. You can't arrest anyone. You observe and report. That's it. You learn about use of force, last resort only. You learn about emergency procedures, active threats, medical situations, fire evacuations. You pass a written test, 78%, not impressive, but enough. They hand you a uniform, black pants, white shirt, clip-on tie, a badge that says security officer. It looks official from 10 feet away. Up close, it looks like it came from a costume shop. They assign you to a bank, downtown branch. Monday morning, you walk in and the branch manager looks at you like you're a potted plant. She shows you where to stand, near the door, facing a lobby. 8 hours, that's your job. Stand there, look alert. You're a human alarm system that makes $15 an hour. Level 2, the guard. You're 23. 2 years of standing. You know every crack in the lobby floor. You know which teller is fast and which one makes customers wait. You know the regulars, the old man who comes every Thursday to deposit his pension check, the woman who argues about fees every single month, the business owner who brings cash deposits in a paper bag like it's his lunch. You also know the ones who don't feel right, the guy who walks in and doesn't go to a teller, he just stands there scanning the room, the woman in sunglasses on a cloudy day who keeps touching her purse. You've learned to read body language better than any psychology textbook could teach you. Your pulse has spiked maybe 30 times in 2 years. Every time it was nothing. A confused customer, a loud argument about an overdraft fee. Once a man fainted near the ATM. You called 911 and held his head off the marble floor until paramedics arrived. The branch manager thanked you. That was the first time anyone acknowledged you exist. You make $17 an hour now, $35,000 a year, no benefits worth mentioning. Your girlfriend asks when you're getting a real job. You don't have a good answer. Level 3, the armed guard. You're 25. You get your firearm certification, 60 hours of training, classroom, range, scenario drills. You qualify with a score of 88. They issue you a holstered pistol you pray you never have to touch. Your pay jumps to $22 an hour. Different company now. They contract with larger banks. You're assigned to a branch that handles commercial accounts, big deposits, cash-heavy businesses. The vault holds more money on a Tuesday afternoon than you'll make in your entire life. The pistol changes everything. Customers look at you differently. Some feel safer. Some look nervous. Children stare. You feel the weight on your hip every second of every shift. At the range, you are calm, but you think about what it would actually mean to draw in a lobby full of civilians. A mother with a stroller by the door, an elderly couple at the teller window, a teenager waiting for his parents. You run scenarios in your head constantly. If someone comes through that door with a weapon, what do you do? Where do you move? Where is your line of fire? Where are the civilians? You've never had to answer those questions for real. Every day, you hope you never do, but you prepare like tomorrow is the day, because the one time you're not ready is the one time it happens.
Level 4, the shift leader. You're 28, 7 years in security. You've worked 12 branches. You've seen 2 attempted robberies. The first one, a man passed a note to the teller. She triggered the silent alarm. He got nervous and ran before you even processed what was happening. The second one, a man walked in with his hand in his jacket pocket, pretending he had a weapon. You positioned yourself between him and the exit. You didn't draw. You just stood there, calm, visible. He looked at you. He looked at the door. He turned around and left. The police caught him 3 blocks away. Your company promotes you to shift leader. You manage 4 guards across 2 branches. You write schedules. You handle call-outs. A guard doesn't show up and you're covering his shift on top of your own. 16-hour day. You train new hires. Most of them are like you were. Young, broke, standing near a door because nobody else would hire them. Some of them last. Most don't. The turnover in this industry is brutal. 100% annually in some companies. You make $52,000 now, salary. First time in your life, you don't count hours. You also do site assessments. You walk into a branch and identify vulnerabilities, camera blind spots, door locks that don't work, panic buttons that haven't been tested in months. You write reports nobody reads. You send emails nobody answers. Until something happens. Then everyone reads everything. Level 5. The Site Supervisor. You're 32. You oversee security for an entire banking district, 8 branches, 20 guards. Your office is in the regional headquarters. You have a desk now, a computer, business cards that say Security Site Supervisor. Your mother put one on the refrigerator. You manage operations, scheduling, training compliance, incident reports. Every time a guard interacts with a threatening individual, you get a report. Every alarm activation, every suspicious package, every customer who gets aggressive with a teller. You review them all. You look for patterns. The branch on 5th Street gets 3 aggressive incidents a month, always Friday afternoons. You adjust staffing, 2 guards on Fridays instead of 1. The incidents drop. That's the job, problems and solutions. You also manage the relationship with the bank. The regional operations manager wants to cut security hours, save money. You sit in a conference room and explain risk. If you reduce coverage during peak hours, you increase exposure. If something happens during uncovered hours, the liability exceeds a decade of security costs. He listens. He keeps the hours. For now. You make $65,000 a year. You started taking criminal justice classes online at night. Your girlfriend from years ago is your wife now. She stopped asking about the real job. This is the real job. You just had to grow into it. Level 6. The Regional Security Manager. You're 37. The security company promotes you to regional manager. You oversee 40 branches across 3 cities, 80 guards, a budget of $2 million. You don't visit branches much anymore. You stare at spreadsheets, incident rates, response times, training compliance percentages, turnover reports, always turnover reports. You can't keep guards. You hire 30 a year and lose 25. The pay is too low. The hours are too long. The job is too boring until it's suddenly terrifying. You pitch a pay increase to corporate. You build a presentation with data. Companies that pay guards $20 or more have 40% lower turnover. Lower turnover means experienced guards. Experienced guards mean fewer incidents. Fewer incidents mean lower insurance premiums. The math works. Corporate approves a $2 raise. Not enough, but it's something. You implement new training programs, de-escalation, situational awareness, emergency medical response. You want your guards to be professionals, not scarecrows and clip-on ties. A branch gets robbed on a Tuesday morning. The guard followed protocol, didn't resist, triggered the alarm, protected the staff. Nobody got hurt. The bank lost $8,000. The insurance covers it. But the guard quits the next week. Can't sleep. Keeps replaying it. You call him. You talk for an hour. You refer him to counseling the company barely pays for. He doesn't come back. You hire his replacement the same afternoon. That's the part they don't train you for. How fast people become replaceable in this industry. You make $82,000. You're good at this. You hate how much of it is about money instead of safety.
Level 7. The Director of Security. You're 43. The bank hires you directly, not the security company. The bank itself. You're the Director of Physical Security. You oversee all 120 branches across the state, 200 guards, a $6 million budget. You report to the Chief Operating Officer. You sit in executive meetings where people in suits discuss quarterly earnings and you discuss threat assessments. They talk about profit margins. You talk about robbery trends and workplace violence indicators. They look uncomfortable. They always do. Your job is making sure nobody walks into one of 120 branches and hurts someone or takes something. You implement technology, camera systems with facial recognition, bulletproof barriers at teller stations, man traps at entrances for high-value branches, silent alarms connected to law enforcement in under 30 seconds. Each upgrade costs 6 figures. You fight for every dollar. The CFO asks if you really need 4K cameras.
You show him footage from a robbery where the suspect's face is 12 blurry pixels. He approves the cameras. You also manage relationships with local police. Every branch has a relationship with the precinct. Officers stop in for coffee. They know the layout. They know the exits. If a call comes in, they don't walk in blind. You built that program from scratch. You make $120,000. Your son asks what you do. You say, I keep people safe. He says, like a superhero. You say, more like a guy with spreadsheets and cameras. But yeah, something like that. Level 8, the Chief Security Officer. You're 50. The bank promotes you to CSO, Chief Security Officer. You oversee everything: physical security, cybersecurity, fraud prevention, risk management, 300 branches across 4 states, 500 security personnel, a $20 million budget. You sit in the boardroom with the CEO and explain threats he doesn't want to hear about. Cyber attacks targeting the wire transfer system, organized robbery rings moving between states, insider threats from employees with access and debts, internal fraud that bleeds more money than every robbery combined. You build systems, layers of security that work together. A customer walks into a branch. The camera captures their face. The system checks it against a database. The teller has a panic button under the counter. The guard has training and a clear protocol. The silent alarm reaches police in 22 seconds. The vault is time-locked. The die packs are loaded. If everything works, the threat is neutralized with 0 injuries and minimal loss. If one layer fails, the next one catches it. That's your philosophy. No single point of failure. You make $180,000. You've come a long way from the kid in the clip-on tie standing near a door. You manage a department of 40 people: analysts, investigators, trainers, technology specialists. Most of them have degrees you never got, but none of them stood in a lobby for 8 hours watching a man with his hand in his jacket decide whether to ruin everyone's day. That experience is worth more than any degree. You know what fear looks like from both sides of the counter. Level 9, the legacy. You're 57, 36 years in security. You announce your retirement. They throw a dinner. The CEO gives a speech about your dedication. You shake hands and smile. Monday morning, you wake up and don't put on a suit. It feels wrong, like leaving the house without your keys. You consult for a year. Small banks, credit unions, they want your expertise without your salary. You walk into branches and see everything: the camera angle that misses the back entrance, the guard who's scrolling his phone, the panic button nobody's tested since installation. You fix what you can. You write reports for the rest. A young guard at a branch you're assessing asks how you ended up in this career. You think about the strip mall training room, the folding chairs, the clip-on tie, the $15 an hour. You tell him the truth. I needed a job, and this was the one that said yes. He laughs. You don't, because that's actually how it started. A kid who needed money standing near a door. And from that door, you built a career that protected thousands of people who never knew your name. Tomorrow, there's a new guard starting somewhere. Black pants, white shirt, badge that looks real from 10 feet away. He'll stand near a door and wonder if this is temporary. For most, it is. For a few, it becomes everything. You were one of the few, and that door led further than you ever imagined.